walking around town. Have you heard the news? Apparently we all got free will. We all get to choose. Are you singing love songs, or are you singing the blues? Now you got your way and I got mine, and we're all connected by the universal central line. Attracting to us what we believe all of the time. So I'll give what I got to give, I'll give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give, give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give, give what I got to give with love. Well, it always brings the sun out and brings the dark cloud above. Now hey there in the mirror, what's it gonna be? 'Cause you know that release in the past will always set you free. And it's only love it's plain to see that can take away the pain, oh, and the misery. So I'll give what I got to give, I'll give what I got to give with love. I'll give what I got to give, I'll give what I got to give with love. Well, I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love. Well, it always brings the sun out, which brings the dark cloud above. Come on, Steve. Stephen Belair. If I think of how I'm feeling and it isn't quite appealing, there are two things that I can do. I can still play the game and feel the same, or put my foot in the other shoe. So I'll give what I got to give what I got to give with love.
Let's hear ya.
Give what I got to give what I got to give with love. Oh, give what I got to give what I got to give with love. Well, it always brings the sun out, which brings the dark cloud above. It always brings the sun out, which breaks the dark cloud. Which breaks the dark cloud, which breaks the dark cloud above. I'm gonna give what I gotta give.
And the Queen Street Band. Good morning. How is everyone this morning? Yes, you are awesome. You are great. You are magnificent, and it's such a pleasure to have you join us here on this beautiful Sunday morning. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living Toronto. My name is Jonathan Zenz. I'm the spiritual director here. I want to say a special welcome to anyone who's joining us for the first time. Great to have your energy here with us in this time and in this place. I want to say hello also to anyone who's joining us online, and trust that you know that your energy is felt right here with each and every one of us, right?
Right.
Yes, absolutely. We have a new song that we're going to try out today. And I say try out because during the rehearsal I just couldn't seem to quite get it. But I'm going to give it a shot.
And it's new.
And it's new.
They won't know if it's
You won't know if it's wrong. I should never have said a word. But, you know, imagine the person who wrote the song watched our video, and he's like, you're not singing the song right. So I'm just going to cop to it. No, I'm singing the song perfectly. Let's do it.
No pressure.
If you feel compelled to stand up and move your body, please do. It's got a nice groove. I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside. In every breath, peace abides. I know the joy of peace. I choose fear to release. Every moment, love wakes up, and peace is every step. Seems simple, right? I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside. In every breath, peace abides. I know the joy of peace. I choose fear to release. Every moment, love wakes up, and peace is every step. One more time, yeah. I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside. In every breath, peace abides. I know the joy of peace. I choose fear to release. Every moment, love wakes up, and peace is every step. Peace is every step. We'll work on that. It's a good one. I love introducing new songs, and I love bringing new material to the experience of Sunday. Because if you all think that you get tired of some of the music, trust me, I get tired of a lot of the music. But I do come from a center where, for about 6 years, the 6 years that I went to the center, we sang the exact same songs every single week.
Yeah, no.
Well, no, it was literally the exact same songs every single week. We always opened with, now I can't even think of any of the songs.
You've blocked them from your mind.
I did, I really kind of, one of the songs that we would always, like the benediction song was always In the Silence. And we always closed the service with I See God in Everything. And we would open the service with Share the Dream, that's what it was. Anyway, we've done those songs here, but we don't do them every week, and I'm grateful for that. Anyway, take a breath. I'm going to invite us all to simply allow ourselves to be fully present to this time and this place and this experience here today. Today is a day that I have settled into understanding that really on a deeper level, for me, peace is an inside job. And there's something that happened last week. I'm going to talk about a story that was brought up in James Mellon's service last week that I thought was very appropriate and really spoke to me about how I'm going to move forward in my own life. And so I trust we'll all be on that beautiful journey together. A lot of people who have chosen to be on a sacred journey themselves are licensed practitioners here at the center. And we license practitioners merely for the purpose of saying they have qualified themselves to really be steeped in the spiritual truth and the philosophy that we teach. And because we license them, we let them sit with you. I mean, you can sit with anybody and do prayer, right? I don't want to say you can only go to a practitioner for prayer. But practitioners are really very clear in the method of affirmative prayer and to really make it work. We call them Consciousness on Demand. And we have beautiful, beautiful practitioners here at the center. If you are a licensed practitioner, I'm going to invite you to stand up so that you can be recognized. Yes. And the reason I do that is to say that following the service, if there's something that is weighing on you and you need a 1-minute miracle with them, please seek out a practitioner. They are happy to do 1-minute miracles following the service. They are also happy to set up times to meet with you. So you can speak with any of them. I'm a licensed practitioner too, by the way. Just to be clear, since I was already standing. But here to, do you need the, yes. Here to offer some words of wisdom and insight, and he always has wonderful, wonderful things to share. He is not with us in person as frequently because he lives in Sudbury, but he's always with us in spirit, and it is a pleasure to introduce to you today for his inspiration, Michel Do.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone online. It's such a pleasure to be here this morning and a part of this country, actually. When I heard the news yesterday about the summit in Paris, it just filled me because the circle is getting bigger, and together we are one. The Science of Mind says peace is a state of inner calm. An inner calm so complete that nothing can disturb it. The peace which comes only from the knowledge that it is all. A realization of our oneness with omnipresence right here, right now, brings peace. The peace which is accompanied by a consciousness of power. How I get to that place of peace is I go to my passions. I have many passions. My favorite one is, of course, this philosophy. But there are many more in my life. I oil paint. Whenever I dab with oil paint, I just become completely peaceful. And my creative expression comes out like anybody else that paints. But whether it is singing, dancing, smiling, anything that you're passionate for brings peace to you. One of my favorite passions in life, if anybody knows me, it's cooking. I was owner-operator of a family restaurant in Temagami. And this time of the year, I would bring out my great-grandmother's recipe, my grandmother's recipe, my mother's recipes, and they were all French traditional recipes. You might know of a few. Tourtière would be my favorite. Ragout, pudding au chômeur, and pet dessert, which is also known as nun farts. I'll have two. And someone, they're delicious. You've had them. They're delicious. Have you ever noticed how precise we are with recipes? And we are precise. When we are precise, everything rises up and shines. Masterpieces are created. Everyone tells us how good of a cook we are, how everything looks good, how everything tastes good, and how they want more of this. Science of Mind says there is a law in the universe, and it is giving us exactly what we put into it. Through this philosophy, this faith, this way of life, I've come to realize that when I use conscious, positive, directed thought into this recipe of my life and add only those ingredients I wish to experience, that I also rise up and shine. And I am at peace when I go to bed at night. People around me tell me how good I am, how good I make them feel, how good everything is becoming in their life, and that they want more of this. I ask you today to pay attention to all the recipes in your life and to visit your passions daily, and that we do get exactly what we put into it. There's a reading from a philosopher. His name is Emmett Fox, and this is how I got to this talk, because it's a perfect message. And it's called The Mixing Bowl. When we make a cake, you know that whatever you put into the mixing bowl will appear in the cake itself. And on the other hand, that unless a particular substance does go into this mixing bowl, it cannot appear in the finished product. Everyone realizes clearly in connection with a material object like a cake, but people often fail to see that the same process applies equally in the realm of mind. Such, however, is the case. The thoughts and beliefs that fill our minds ultimately appear in the cake of experience. And to realize this is to save oneself a lot of trouble. No one puts kerosene in the mixing bowl because no one wants it in the cake. For everyone knows that if it does enter the bowl, in the cake it will be. Keep mental kerosene and other ill-tasting things out of your mental mixing bowl. And then your cake will be worth eating. Namaste. I do have an affirmation for us this morning. I will say it once, and you could say it with me twice. Today, I use conscious, positive, directed thought into the law of mind to rise and shine. I am a masterpiece. Together? Today, I use conscious, positive, directed thought into the law of mind to rise and shine. I am a masterpiece. One more time. Today, I use conscious, positive, directed thought into the law of mind to rise and shine. I am a masterpiece. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you. Grateful to you for your words of wisdom, always. Perfect, perfect, perfect. You have inspired me today to know exactly what is required as the message today. Grateful for you, grateful for your participation in this community, grateful for the love that you are. And the truth is, when we set our mind to it, we do live in perfection. Always. 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 So I invite us all to take a breath, relax where we are. Let whatever it is that has worked through us, what has inspired us, to be present. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, the dark sacred night, And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And so in this moment, relaxing where we are, taking that breath, being open and receptive, I invite Michelle to lead us in affirmative prayer.
Thank you. Allow me to marinate in this love and light right here, right now. In this house of love and light, I recognize one essence, one thing. Some call it Buddha, some call it Allah, some call it Krishna, some call it Spirit, some call it God. Many words, one thing, one life. This life is good. This life is perfect. This life is our life now. Right here, right now, I recognize this one life. I use conscious, directed, positive thought into this life to create goodness, to create love, to create harmony, to create oneness. I declare this truth, this love, this light. And in this natural goodness, I am free. I am at peace. And I take this peace wherever I go. I am free. I am grateful. I am one. In this attitude of gratitude for all that is good and real and obvious, I delight, I bask, I say yes, yes. I release these words to the law of mind with a heart filled with love and light. And know that the law says yes, yes, yes. I release, I let go, I allow, and together we say, and so it is.
The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Thank you, Michelle. Just letting it soak in. Our featured song today, great song. Again, inspired. You know, we actually talked. We had actually planned out a number of songs for December to be in the featured slot, and you know, at the perfect time, I receive a message, an email that says, "Wait, there's this song from Pierre." He says, "There's this song. Can we do it this week? I know we were supposed to do this song, but I'd rather do this song." And I said, "Absolutely. That is inspired wisdom happening." So please welcome Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band.
I hope the days come easy and the moments pass slow, and each road leads you where you want to go. And if you're faced with a choice and you have to choose, I hope you choose the one that means the most to you. And if one door opens to another door close, I hope you keep on walking till you find the window. If it's cold outside, show the world the warmth of your smile. But more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. I hope you never look back, but you never forget all the ones who loved you in the place you left. I hope you always forgive and you never regret, and you help somebody every chance you get. Oh, you find God's grace in every mistake, and you always give more than you take. But more than anything, my wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. My wish for you is that this life becomes all that you wanted to. Your dreams stay big, your worries stay small. You never need to carry more than you can hold. And while you're out there getting where you're getting to, I hope you know somebody loves you and wants the same things too. Yeah, this is my wish. My wish for you. My wish, I hope you know somebody loves you. My wish, may all your dreams be big.
Pierre Gautreau and the Queen Street Band. I shouldn't touch that. I'm going to start off with the proverb, the tale of two wolves, the Cherokee proverb that was brought up in James Mellon's service last week, and I think it's very appropriate for what needs to be expressed today. One evening, an old Cherokee Indian told his grandson about the battle that goes on inside people. He said, "My son, the battle is between two wolves inside us. One is evil. It is anger, envy, jealousy, sorrow, regret, greed, arrogance, self-pity, guilt, resentment, inferiority, lies, false pride, superiority, and ego. The other is good. It is joy, peace, love, hope, serenity, humility, kindness, benevolence, empathy, generosity, truth, compassion, and faith." The grandson thought about it for a minute and then asked his grandfather, "Which wolf wins?" The old Cherokee simply replied, "The one you feed." This entire philosophy that we teach is based on what we are feeding in our own mind, what we are feeding to our own mind. And we are at choice. It's the great gift, if there is such a gift that has been bestowed upon us by something outside of ourselves, which there is not, but if there were, it is the great gift that we have, that we live lives of choice. We have infinite choice. Every moment is a choice. Every millisecond we are choosing. You have chosen to be here. I say it as a joke sometimes. You have chosen to be here, even if you're here for the first time and a friend dragged you along. On some level, you chose to be here. There is that inner choice, that subconscious choice, that choice beyond the level of our conscious awareness, that oftentimes our lives are unfolding because of those choices, those things that we're not even aware of. In fact, the majority of our lives are unfolding because of that very construct. Part of the big aspect of this philosophy that we are looking to shift is the tendency in thought, our tendency in thought. Not just the conscious thoughts we're aware of that we think may not be serving us. We're looking to change what is our tendency, what is our habitual thinking, so that our habits become life-supporting, so that our habits become life-affirming, so that our habits become habits of joy and prosperity and gratitude and forgiveness and benevolence. The way we do that is by determining which wolf we're feeding. It is very easy, and has been very easy, to look around in the world and feed the wrong wolf right now. Just by observing what's happening, it becomes our job to step back and say, I can observe what's happening, I see what's happening, but what is my inner response to it? What is that belief system that is operating within me that is saying yes or no to whatever it is that I'm seeing? Because the more I become in alignment with that which is destructive, the more I create those circumstances in my own life. And James said a funny thing last week. He said, I'm not going to feed the quote-unquote wrong wolf anymore. And he realized that in his services, bringing up the events of the world on some level is feeding the wrong wolf. And yet it is. And I'll tell you, because I just got to know it's not. And yet it is. And I'll tell you how we shift it. If bringing it up does not lead to deeper self-awareness, which leads to self-actualization and momentum in our own lives, then it is feeding the wrong wolf. And I fear sometimes just bringing it up to say we can do something about it, that thing that happens is within each and every one of us. If it's not impelling people to action, it's what I talked about last week. If we are not impelled to action in some way, then it is feeding the wrong wolf. So, what can we do? If we put our thoughts only on love, only on peace, only on joy, if we say, no, I refuse to look at that, if I go into that place, not of denial of the circumstances, I want to be very clear. I'm not denying that there are things happening in this world. What I am saying is that I am a point of power that changes my own experience in this world, and from that point of view, that's feeding the right wolf. To say, I only live in joy. I only experience the greatest things that life has to offer. When I do that for myself, I actually affect the entire world. Part of what I want to stand up here and say today is, let's stop trying to change the world. Let's change ourselves. Because when we change ourselves, we change the world. But far too many people are going out and they're trying to change the world, but they're not addressing the issues that they have within themselves. They're not addressing the things that are happening at home. They're feeding the wrong wolf and yet saying, I stand for love and joy and peace, and I'm going to try and do something out there in the world to make it seem like we're living in love and joy and peace, but they haven't addressed that which is within them. I feel very passionate about this. Like, wow, I'm like, ah. There's an interesting lyric in that song that caught me as I was up there today. Find God's grace in every mistake. Find God's grace in every mistake. Let us step into this idea that we are going to find grace in every mistake. And what really struck me today is that a mistake is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. Once you have made what you consider to be a mistake, you can't change it. What you can do is make a determination about how you move forward from this point now. And then I started thinking about my old life in the entertainment industry and the various times that I would work in film and television. And, you know, when you do a shot, you set up a shot, right? You set up a shot. This is how it works in the film and television world. You set up the shot. The camera's all set. They've got all the lights set, and the actors have done their rehearsal, and they've got, you know, they're going to get this one shot of maybe a close-up of somebody's face, right? And within that one shot, they may do multiple takes. And the ones that they don't use are the mistakes. Right? Perhaps we should start thinking about our lives in terms of mistakes. Because just because you didn't say the line right doesn't mean that you don't have the opportunity to say the line correctly in the next take, and in the next take, and in the next take. But can you imagine how it would be? Boy, we would have some really awful television if they took the first take of every shot, wouldn't we, Tanis? Maybe, maybe not. Tanis is a brilliant actress, who I'm sure nails it on the first take every single time. You know what? I'm gonna write to Nia, and I'm gonna say, did she nail it on the first take every time? We'll see what she has to say. Yeah. I say that because Tanis, because Tanis is going to be in My Big Fat Greek Wedding too, which is coming out in the spring, right? March 25th. Yes. So here's the next part of, though, the mistake in our lives. And in television and film, what happens to all of those mistakes? Do you ever think about what happens to all of those mistakes? They end up on the cutting room floor. And sometimes they're put into reels so that you can see kind of the funny things that happen on set, right? But they end up on the cutting room floor. They don't go away. They don't go away. Far too many of us are trying to erase the takes of our past, thinking that they're going to go away. They're not going away. They're not going anywhere. They exist in the universal mind, and so they exist somewhere. And they will have a continued effect on you if you continue to drag them into your present moment and say, oh my gosh, I made this mistake. And so what happens when you step into that? It continues to have you live in the world of mistake. So, today, leave all of your mistakes on the cutting room floor. Leave it all there. It is not required for the movie of your life. Let it go. Now, the funny thing is, there's that whole thing, life is not a dress rehearsal, right? No, it's not a dress rehearsal. But boy, dress rehearsals can be fun. It's the first time that you get to kind of put the clothes on and experience the newness of everything. Because you know what? By the time you get on stage, by the time you get to that point of being past the dress rehearsal, it's actually very rote. I spent decades in theater. I was not really much of a TV and film person. I spent decades in the theater. And I'll tell you, by the time you got to opening night, it was almost robotic what you had to do. And that was the technique in the rehearsal that got you to that point, where it was exactly the same every single night. I mean, within certain bounds. I mean, obviously, the air is different every night, so it's not exactly the same experience. But the work in theater is to have the same experience for every single audience that comes to see your play. They want to see the same show that the people last night got to see. And so there is some level of life is a dress rehearsal because that's where it's all exciting and fresh and, oh my gosh, we're stepping into the unknown. I'm putting on clothing that I did not know before. Whereas by the time you get to opening night, you know exactly what clothing you're wearing. You know exactly how much time you have to do your costume changes, and sometimes it's very fast. You know what's going to happen. The dress rehearsal is the great unknown. And within that, you're allowed to have your mistakes. So today, let yourself off the hook for anything that you think that you have done erroneously in the past. Let it go. Let it be on the cutting room floor. No longer serves you. It does not serve you. I made a mistake yesterday that goes in line with what Michelle was talking about today. And I actually have kind of a different take on the whole idea of cooking. Because for me, what? My fiance laughs. I'm a good cook. I'm a very good cook. Cooking, for me, is artistry. Cooking is artistry. You can change up the ingredients and have a wonderful result. Baking is science. If you mess up the ingredients in baking, it's not so pretty. So I was going to make an apple pie yesterday. And because I'm planning to bring an apple pie to our potluck next week, I don't want you all to worry after I tell you this story. It was good practice. I've made beautiful apple pies. But this time, I had everything that I needed for the crust. And I do my crust from scratch. I had everything that I needed for the crust, except that I was a quarter cup shy of butter. That's a really important ingredient in a pie crust. And yes, I'm sorry, I do use real butter. You won't be able to eat the pie next week, I'm sorry. I was a quarter cup shy in butter, and I started thinking, well, what am I going to do? Because I wanted to get the dough ready so I could get it in the refrigerator before I went out and picked up the apples. Because I was just trying to time everything out, because I was supposed to go to a party last night, and I will tell you. Actually, I'll get to that later. So, so I decide, well, maybe I could use some coconut oil. So I get the coconut oil, and I measure out a quarter cup, and I take it out and I put it in and, do the whole dough. And it seems like the dough seems really nice, like it's going to work out really, really well. And I put it in the refrigerator, and then I go to the store. I buy my apples. I come back. I'm peeling and coring and everything, all the apples and everything. Anyway, Like an hour and a half later, I pull the dough out, and one thing I had not thought about is how firm coconut oil gets. So I take the dough, and I'm like, this is like a rock. Clunk. Okay. And so I take my rolling pin, and I'm like, it just breaks apart into a million pieces. There was it just was not going to work. Baking is science. If you put in the wrong ingredient, it will not work. How many wrong ingredients are you putting into your own mind? It all comes back to that. It all comes back to that. We're in charge, and there are myriad options for what we have at hand to put into the mix, right? I had coconut oil. I thought, it's an oil. It should work on some level, right? No. On some level. You know what? I am going to make it work someday. I'm going to find the mix. Don't refrigerate, yeah. What are those things that we are putting into our own mind that are throwing everything off, that are throwing the chemistry off? Which is not to say that you cannot enjoy life. So let's think of our life less as baking and more as cooking, where we get to try things. We get to have the experience. That's the choice. In baking, there's no choice. In cooking, there's choice. And what beautiful choices we have. Right? I love it. So, here's how awry my pie experiment went yesterday. I was so disillusioned with myself now, because I went to roll the dough out and get everything going, and so I could get it into the oven, so I could take this pie to my party. And I was so disillusioned that I threw the dough away. I took the cored apples, I just threw them in the refrigerator, and I said, to hell with it, I'm not even going to the party. On some level, I'm disappointed that I didn't go to the party, but look how one choice can affect you in a different way that you weren't even expecting later. I decided not to go to the party because I thought, I don't want to show up empty-handed, and I will not buy a store-bought pie. I just won't. Not that they're all bad, but I had this idea of what I wanted it to be, and it didn't work out in the way that I wanted it to work out. And so what was the choice I made? Well, then I'm just not going to do anything. I could have made churros with it. It was a bit much. Yeah, I don't even think I could have done that. How many times are we making choices that may or may not be in our great favor because of some mistake we made in the past? Think about it. Just think about that. What are things that you're holding on to right now? Are you ready? Do you have a willingness to let them go? Do you have a willingness to let them go? Or are you just wishing, oh, I made that mistake in the past. I wish that I was not affected by it. Are you hoping? Oh, I hope that it doesn't really affect me now. Or are you thinking, you know what? That no longer holds any power in my life. Or are you praying? I know who I am. And when I know who I am, there is nothing in my past that has any hold on who I am in this present moment. I would invite each and every one of us to start going on that journey of recognition. Start to realize when you're in that place of wishing or hoping. What is it Ernest Holmes says? Hope is, what is it? Hope is better than despair. Wishing, you're almost in despair. So let's go like that route, right? Wishing you're in despair. Oh my gosh. That's also another thing. That's how we differentiate prayer within this philosophy. And I do call it prayer. And I know that our practitioner, new practitioner group, when they went through their panels, there were ministries who said, don't call it prayer, we call it spiritual mind treatment. And I said, absolutely not. We call it prayer, and Ernest Holmes calls it prayer, and let's call it what it is. It is prayer. However, it is not prayer in the traditional sense. So this is the difference. In prayer, we're wishing for something to happen. In the prayer that we teach, affirmative prayer, spiritual mind treatment, we know that when we equalize our mind to what it is we require in our life, it happens. There is no wishing in it. So hope is the next step from wishing. Wishing is almost being in despair, where you are pleading, please God, make something happen. Hope is better than despair, but it is still a false idea. And hope has within it the possibility that it will not work out. Step away from hope. Step away from hope. Step into knowing who you are. First of all, in thought. Affirm for yourself every day. One of the reasons that I always have the practitioners do affirmations is because it is a very powerful tool to use. You know, we teach affirmation, we teach prayer, we teach visioning, we teach meditation. Affirmation is very powerful. It can get to the core of your beingness very quickly. I stand firm in the truth of my divine birthright for all good. I stand firm in the truth of my divine birthright for all good. I know this for each and every person here. That affirmative statement says, I know who I am. It's an intellectual exercise at first. Because there are people who say, well, affirmations, they don't work for me. I can't just state it. What? All is well? All is well. Okay. But it doesn't mean anything until you state it so frequently and with such conviction that it begins to become embodied. It is the embodiment of that idea, the embodiment of the feeling of all is well. When I know this from the feeling place, that's when the shift occurs. So, if you're at the point where affirmations are simply an intellectual exercise, keep doing them. Do not stop doing them. Keep stepping into it. Know who you are. That's the next step, prayer. Prayer. Prayer is from the viewpoint of knowing who we are. We start every single prayer within this philosophy with two ideas. God is all there is. And because God is all there is, I am part of that. And from that point of view, all that I am is part of all that is. And so the word I speak has power. Because God, light, life, power, beauty, joy, wisdom, love. That power is inherent in who we are. When you know who you are unstoppable. That's the truth. And so every prayer begins with that premise. God is all there is, and I am part of that. I am God. At the level of my expression of being God. When I'm infused with this, I trust and know that the word I speak has power, and so I speak my word for only good, for only peace, for only love. That's the truth. And so as we continue through the celebration of the season of peace, make sure you're feeding the right wolf. Feeding the wolf is stepping firmly into affirmative prayer, knowing who you are. It is stepping into the activity of good, based on the idea of good. Take a breath. You are now awake to a new idea, a new thought, to something that has sparked and resonated within you. I won't claim to know what it is, but there is something within you that knows, and it knows that it knows. And so I invite you to step forth based on the truth of who you are, love, light, life, power, beauty, joy, and peace. Namaste. Stephen, please. I'm going to invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering the service center today in terms of a financial contribution. I'm going to switch over to this one. There we go. Recognize it for what it is. Many of us have our step-up cards, which simply are a reflection of our commitment to this center. It says we give on a regular basis through pre-authorized giving in order to support all that this center stands for. And what this center stands for is love, love only, forgiveness, forgive everything, and the message of remembering who we are. That's all we stand for. And so, with this gift to the center, bless it, honor it, know it for what it is, and trust that it moves through this time and this space to do great work in the world. Let that be the energy with which we give today. And now, taking a breath, we're not going to sing the song that's on your song sheet.
The
Because
ingredients weren't coming together.
They were not coming together. And I will tell you, in the world of infinite choice, we started working through this song in rehearsal today, and I finally turned and I said, I'm going to say it. I'm going to,
No.
I just don't want to use a harsh word. I dislike this song greatly.
And so it is.
So let's do something else. And so we decided to do a great
Point
Pierre
of Power.
Gautreau song, Point of Power. You'll know it.
2, 3, 4.
In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. In this moment I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. I feel love. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. In this moment I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. I feel joy. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now.
Peace, grace, grace.
In this moment I feel grace. In this moment I feel grace. In this moment I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. I feel grace. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. So if you would please do the blessing.
And the point of power is in this moment now. In this river of life, I get in with my canoe and pull the oars up and flow where it takes me. This currency goes where it needs to go, right here, right now, in this current moment. In this time of giving and receiving, we are blessed. And this currency goes where it is needed. In this community, in this world, we are blessed. I am grateful for this community, for this congregation, for this country. I release, I let go, I allow, and together we say, and so it is.
Peace.
In this moment I feel peace. In this moment I feel peace. In this
feel peace. I feel peace. I feel peace. I feel peace. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now. And the point of power is in this moment now.
All right, thank you so much. A couple of things that I want to remind us all about. Yes, we are having a potluck next week following service in honor of the holidays, so we'll have some time with fellowship. There's a sign-up sheet for items to bring. Yes? I'm already getting to it. I already got you. I will get to it, I promise. Yeah, so please take a look at the sign-up sheet for the potluck. And I know that right now it says there's only one slot left for a main dish, but just because all the slots are filled up doesn't mean that you can't bring something. I am bringing an apple pie made from scratch. It will be made correctly, I promise. Another thing I wanted to let you know about, we are always looking for volunteers, and we have now decided to set up a sign-up sheet. So if you look at the community board, there's a sign-up sheet there for people who are interested in offering their service, sacred service to the center. We would love to have you participate with us. Volunteering is how I got started in my community and ultimately what led me to being here in this place. Volunteering made me feel good because it made me know that I was contributing to something wonderful in this world. And if that calls to you, I invite you to participate as a volunteer in this center. We have a wonderful volunteer community led by our hospitality coordinator, Lori. So please take a look at that sign-up sheet and make your presence known. I also want to let everyone know we do have a board meeting following the service today. Our board meets approximately once a month. If you are a member of this center, you are welcome to observe the board meeting. So if that is of interest to you, please come check that out. Also, I'm going to start letting everyone know that we are going to be having our annual general meeting, which is going to happen on January 31st. Where we will show the financials for the center for the previous fiscal year, our fiscal year's calendar. So you'll get to see all the financials from that previous year. You'll get to see some of the vision for what we have in store for 2016. We will also be electing new board members to open positions on our board of trustees. If you are interested in serving as a member of our board, we would love to talk to you about that. Please chat with me or with Helen. Oh, sorry. It's Helen's Helen is finishing her second term on the board of this center, and so she is not eligible to run again. One of the open positions is Helen's. But until that time, you can speak with Helen or me about serving on the board, and we would love to chat with you about that. Let me see if I'm making sure that I've got everything. We're still taking, if you're interested in the benefits program, you can sign up for the benefits program anytime. You get great discounts in our bookstore, some of the local services around the Leslieville neighborhood. As well, you get Science of Mind magazine every month automatically without an additional payment. So great there. Meditation continues every Wednesday at 6 p.m. That is continuing, so join us on Wednesday for beautiful meditation with Margaret Ann Snyder. Also, I based our budget that's going to be approved by the board today, see, that's an affirmative thought, on what we received so far in the Step Up program, our pre-authorized giving program. If you have not filled out a form, that doesn't mean that you cannot. We are still encouraging people to make their commitments to the center by filling out forms, and it just helps the bottom line for our budget moving forward. So take a look at that. Sign-up forms for the Step Up pre-authorized giving program are all in the gift and bookstore. So that's all the news that's fit to print. All right, take a breath. So, I grabbed the microphone like I'm going to sing this song, and I'm not. This is, I love this song. And I was asked if I wanted to sing on it today, and I said, no, I want to listen to it today. So I'm going to invite us all to breathe, release, let go, and simply allow. what is needed in this moment for our highest good, each and every one of us. Breathe. Release. Let go. And allow.
The road is long, with a many a winding turn that leads us to who knows where, who knows where. But I'm strong. So on we go. His welfare is my concern. No burden is he to bear. We'll get there. For I know not encumber me. No, no. He ain't heavy. He's my brother. If I'm a laden at all, I'm a laden with sadness that everyone's heart isn't filled with the gladness of a love for one another. It's a long, long road from which there is no return. And while we're on the way to there, why not share? And the love doesn't weigh me down at all. He ain't heavy. He's my brother.
So right here, right now, I recognize and know that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite creative energy. It is fully expressed through everything, and it is expressed by means of each and every one of us. We are that very light. We are the love. We are the life of God expressed. We are peace, beauty, joy, power, and wisdom. This is the core of our beingness. And so from this place, knowing that the word I speak right here, right now, is a word of power, I claim for each and every one of us perfection in our peaceful experience of life, perfection in our joyful experience of life, that everything that shows up for each and every one of us is from goodness. For that is the only thing that truly, truly is. All is well. All is good. I believe this, and I hold true to this. And for this and so much more, I live in eternal gratitude. I'm grateful for all the wisdom shared here today. I'm grateful for all that has flowed. I'm grateful for all that continues to flow. I'm grateful for all that is right here, right now. I am so grateful to our board members today, Fred and Carol. Grateful for Lori setting up. Grateful for Carol cleaning up after service. I'm grateful for women, Terry, our greeters. Grateful for Margaret Ann in the bookstore, Robert on sound, Jim on our webcast. Grateful for the brilliance of this band, this incredible band. Such a blessing to me personally, and I trust is a blessing to each and every person who walks through these doors. I am so grateful. Grateful for Lori and her brilliant leadership. I am grateful to the wisdom of Lena and her meditation today. Grateful to Michelle for his wisdom and service today. So grateful, so grateful, so grateful. Grateful for our guest artisan today in the bookstore, Linda, and her beautiful jewelry, sharing it with this community. And so I resonate with this peace and this gratitude, knowing that this is the truth of life right here and right now. And all that shows up is at this level of vibration. Trusting this to be so, I release, I let go, I allow, and together we say, and so it is.
He's my brother. Oh, he ain't heavy. He's my brother. Oh, he ain't heavy. He's my brother.
And so it is. We're going to end the day today with this little light of mine. That's what it is. Yes, I remember. Yeah. So please feel free to stand up, move the body.
Sing along. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, 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 every day. Gonna let my little light shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, 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 every day. Gonna let my little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, 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 every day. Gonna let my little light shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, 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 every day. Gonna let my little light shine. Oh, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Well, this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day, every day,
everyone.